There is a company worth more than almost any other in human history. $4 trillion. More than entire stock markets of most countries. And for 30 years, its founder has opened meetings by telling his employees the same thing. Our company is 30 days from going out of business. It's not a joke, and it's not literally true, it's a scar. Because twice it nearly was true. This is the story of NVIDIA, and of a man who learned that the only way to build something that lasts is to run it like it's already dying. Jensen Huang was born in Taipei, Taiwan, in 1963. At 9 years old, he was sent to America, where a mix-up landed him not at a fancy prep school, but at a tiny rural boarding school in Kentucky. He cleaned toilets there. Every student worked. At 15, he got his first job, washing dishes at a Denny's diner. He worked the graveyard shift, dishwasher, then busboy, then waiter. He has said, without irony, that no job in his life taught him more. The dishwasher studied electrical engineering, designed chips at AMD and LSI Logic. And in 1993, at a Denny's booth in East San Jose over endless coffee refills, he and two engineer friends, Chris Malachowski and Curtis Preem, sketched a company. They wanted to build chips for a market that barely existed, 3D graphics. They called it NVIDIA. Their first chip, the NV1, was genuinely clever, and cleverness nearly killed them. It drew 3D worlds using curved surfaces, while the rest of the industry, led by Microsoft's new DirectX standard, chose triangles. The market picked triangles. The NV1 was stranded. A brilliant answer to a question nobody was asking anymore. By the middle of 1996, NVIDIA was a dead company that hadn't stopped moving. Huang laid off more than half his people. 100 employees became 40 and counted roughly 30 days of cash. And here is where the story turns on something almost never mentioned in business books: mercy. As Huang tells it, he flew to Japan to face Sega, whose console chip NVIDIA could not deliver, and told them the truth and asked for the money anyway, admitting it would most likely be lost. Sega's president agreed. $5 million, not an investment thesis, a kindness. It bought 6 months. 6 months of runway. 1 chip's worth of money. A normal company builds test silicon first. You make the chip, find the bugs, fix them, then mass produce. NVIDIA could not afford the rehearsal, so they bought an emulator, a machine that could pretend to be the chip, and tested the entire design in simulation. And then Jensen Huang did the thing you are never supposed to do. He sent a chip no one had ever physically touched straight to mass production. If the simulation had missed one serious bug, there was no second tape out. That was the company. The RIVA 128 shipped in August 1997. It worked. It sold roughly 1 million units in 4 months. And NVIDIA came off the floor of a near bankruptcy into the front rank of graphics. The scar became the mantra, 30 days from going out of business. Forever, the second bet was slower, quieter, and to almost everyone watching, dumber. By 2006, NVIDIA graphics chips had become extraordinary parallel machines. Thousands of small calculations at once. Huang's conviction was that this power shouldn't be locked inside video games. So NVIDIA built CUDA, a platform that let any programmer use a graphics card for any kind of computation. It shipped on every chip, whether customers wanted it or not, and they mostly didn't. There was no market. Wall Street saw a gaming company burning money on a science project. In 2008, the stock lost around 80% of its value, and for nearly a decade, it went essentially nowhere. That is a long time to look wrong in public. To be honest about it, Huang did not know that artificial intelligence was coming. Nobody did. He wasn't predicting the future. He was building general-purpose ground and waiting to see what would grow on it. In 2012, 3 researchers in Toronto, Alex Krzyzewski, Ilya Sutskever, and Jeffrey Hinton, trained a neural network called AlexNet to recognize images. The field had been stuck for decades. Their network cut the error rate nearly in half, and it stunned computer science. Here's the detail that matters. They trained it on 2 consumer NVIDIA graphics cards, sitting in a bedroom PC programmed with CUDA. NVIDIA didn't commission it. The researchers simply reached for the only affordable hardware on Earth that could do the job. Because one company had spent 6 years preparing ground for a lightning strike no one could schedule. Deep learning exploded, and every lab, then every company, then every country needed the same thing. Massively parallel compute with a mature software platform. There was exactly one. In May 2023, NVIDIA passed $1 trillion in value. By July 2025, $4 trillion, the first company in history to touch it. The science project had become the infrastructure of an age. So here's the play. The market can only price what it can see, and it cannot see a moat while you're still digging it. To everyone outside, conviction and delusion look identical for years. The only way to tell them apart is survival. NVIDIA lived because Huang matched his boldest bets with a founder who fired half his company, begged honestly when he had to, and ran every day like day 30. Bet like a visionary. Operate like you're dying. Most companies can only do one. 30 years on, worth more than almost anything humans have built, NVIDIA founder still opens meetings the same way. We're 30 days from going out of business. It stopped being a fear a long time ago. It became the strategy.